Alright, here we're going to look at an opening strategy for Germany, trying to take most of Europe fairly quickly with special forces. Ooh, so we got two of them to spawn here. Now we want to lure everything to our star fort and kind of just let that take the brunt of the attack here until our units are completed, and then once they are, they're going to kind of distract these, so we'll spawn all of the mercenaries. And then okay, so we lost one special forces and two mercenaries, which isn't bad at all. We're gonna focus Rotterdam first because it is the port city, so it will give the most income over time. Same with Zurich. Now I am going for an early trench down here, just in case France wants to go to war or something. And then here we might be able to lure these into the star fort, but it doesn't look like it. Oh, there we go. So if the star fort does attack him, it's going to pull him, and all that just gives you a little bit of extra gold, which kind of goes a long way. But if you can manage to do that, you're going to take a lot of Europe quickly. Now, there might be some tension here between you and France as you're both trying to take Netherlands early. And that's just something that you're going to have to look out for. 650. But basically, as Germany, there's a lot of cities which spawn these neutral hostile units, and they can do a lot of damage to your early forces, especially if you're not careful. So it's just best to micro your own forces and just make sure you have good engagements with them. So once you capture Switzerland and Netherlands, then you can start to push east. Ideally, we want to take the city before we spawn the hostiles, but sometimes you just get excited and you gotta run with it. Luckily, we have the numbers up here that we're not going to take too heavy losses, but I did lose my builder, so I'm going to have to make another one. This guy here is going to make a barracks. And then the main goal here is also to secure this port and then these resources up here. Finland's not too important, it just helps to protect Sweden and Norway. Kind of gives you a little more buffer room between you and Russia with all these lakes right here. It's really good defensive territory. So we're likely going to spawn the hostiles again. Might get us just enough gold. Just train a hero once the barracks is done. Really, just the name of the game is to not charge head-in, bad engagements against the hostiles, because ultimately you don't gain anything by doing that compared to other methods. They're mainly there as a means to slow you down early game. So bring a lot of these guys back to Europe. I don't know, we'll say build a trench there, build a trench there. We can go spawn the neutrals. If we can get them to funnel right here one at a time, it's going to be a really good engagement. They're doing 50 damage, I'm only doing 40. Yeah, so we got the trench aura. I lost 2 units. Not bad for 12 on, I think 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6. Yeah, it looks like 6. I think your ultimate goal for Germany is security on the Eastern Front is to secure all of Scandinavia and then like these 4 cities. Kaliningrad, Warsaw, Budapest, Belgrade. You start with Tirana. I don't know how the fuck to say that. Tirana? I always thought it was Triana. Tirana? I don't know. It's Albania. But if you can secure these, you're going to have a pretty comfortable mid-game. You've got 3 financials with a possible of a 4th. And then some good starting resources. So I think that's a good base as Germany to start from and kind of do whatever you want. You might get into some conflict with France over these, and you might get into some conflict with Russia over Poland, Budapest, and Yugoslavia, but just gotta kind of see what happens. And you can always adjust the plan, as you go, but it's good to have a solid game plan going into it. And that is the first few turn guide as Germany. Here we're going to look at an alternate German strategy, focusing more on the Italian side. Standard game. Now we're just going to assume France goes for Netherlands early on. So we'll get those to spawn, come back to the government. Do the same thing. We'll get the Netherlands ones. So we're going to spawn 12 mercenaries here from Libya, and then from Somalia we're going to spawn both of the mercenaries here. and that'll enable us to take this oil pretty early on. So we'll get another 3 groups. And then that'll just give me 24 special forces, so it'll be easy to hotkey them. Take this early iron and then go for these 3 cities and this oil deposit here. Africa is usually focused here in the Congo and south of it, maybe fighting France. So taking Sudan early is definitely doable. So those. One group, 2 groups. Jump back there. Now this could be good if, say, the Soviet player is someone who's known to be very aggressive, and you know they're going to fight you if you try and take any of the Balkans or Poland or any of that. So going for mainly Scandinavia and Africa can really kind of bolster your income while avoiding war. Let's see, let's put those there because I have a feeling, yeah. So that's taken. That. So we did end up losing one. It's kind of unfortunate, but all of that's not upgraded. But basically the game plan is to secure that oil, and probably this one. Cruiser and then a Liberty ship. It's a pretty good engagement. I lost a couple of units. By the time they get down there, that should be despawned, I feel like. We'll see. Don't really have a use for that currently. Yep. Now from here, you can kind of push into either a war with Brown or maybe go for Egypt. Egypt's pretty lucrative. Even if you just fought, say, Teal for the Suez. Especially if you're going more Navy focused of a build, you can definitely defend the Mediterranean. And like they might be able to land Normandy or something, but if you own Scandinavia and all this, like it's fairly easy for you to defend successfully from Teal. Like you can